Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video we're going to be totally demolishing, well I shouldn't say totally, we are partially demolishing Moonshine Island. There are certain areas and certain terraforming aspects that when I did it, I didn't really like it. It wasn't exactly what I was going for. So today we're going to be totally taking that apart. So I hope you're ready and let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is go around to all of the places that I'm taking apart, and I'm just going to pick up all of the items that are decorated all around the island. The specific areas that I'm taking apart is the little spa area that I'm doing right now. I'm also going to be taking down my Able Sisters area, my museum area, my little Zodiac pond area, and I'm going to take apart all of my beaches and a little foresty area that I have, as well as my orchard. The reason that I'm doing this is because I didn't really enjoy the way that it looked, and I feel like it might have flowed decently, but for the purpose of what I really wanted this island to be, it just didn't work for me. So we're gonna take it apart and we're gonna rebuild it. The spots that I will be keeping on this island is my entrance, because I am obsessed with the Moonshine Island entrance. I love it so much. It is probably the favorite part of this entire island that I've done, so I really wanted to keep that. I will be keeping my campsite area. I might change up the terraforming on it a little bit later on in the build, but for now I'm definitely gonna keep it because I kind of like the area that it's in. And the last two things that I'll be keeping is the little bridge area that goes over to Reds and my neighborhood. Those are the four main places that I wanted to keep. I didn't want to tear that down and start over with that because overall I'm pretty happy with how they look, so I didn't want to change that. But as far as the entire rest of the island goes, it's going to get a total complete makeover, and I think it's well overdue. I think that there's nothing wrong with building an island and then after a while sitting on it and wanting to change it and change up how it looks. I will be keeping the same theme that I have for this island with all of the white and a lot of the moons and the stars and the little mush lamps. I will be keeping that theme overall. I think that I would say that if I had to give this island a theme, that it would be kind of like a cottage core versus fairy core kind of thing. I don't really know exactly if it would fit in either one of those categories on its own, so I feel like this island is kind of a mix of both. Now that I have all of the decorations all picked up, I'm going to go through all of the spots on the island and I'm going to tear up all of the flowers, all of the trees, and I'm also going to scrape away all of the custom designs that I have laid out. In terms of custom designs, I'll be keeping the little moonstones and the little rock thing. For the little blankets or the quilt things that are on the ground, I will be changing that, and I'm probably going to be adding some new custom designs. Recently, I've been watching a lot of Console Kato's videos, and she has a card that has a ton of custom designs, and I've been looking through them, and there's a lot of them that I would really like to incorporate on this island because I feel like it would fit extremely well. So shout out to her for doing that. That is such a kind thing, and it's so amazing to open that up to everybody else to be able to use. And it's also a great thing that custom design creators exist, because without them, a lot of our islands would be extremely bare. I know that a ton of us use custom codes and custom designs for clothing and for little design things for furniture and just a place on the ground. So I'm extremely grateful for that, because without it, a lot of my islands would be so plain, so bare. So I'm very thankful for that, and I'm so happy that those kind of things exist. I also did decide to pick up all of the flowers and all of the custom designs and the furniture that was over on my little neighborhood area as well as my campsite area. I know that I'm going to be keeping those, but I did want to be able to redecorate, so while I was doing it, I decided to go ahead and just take all of that up. I did, however, keep all of the flowers and designs and the furniture and the items that were over on my entrance and over at the Reds entrance. I really liked how that looked. So for now, I'm going to keep it how it is. Maybe later on in the build, I'll decide to change it if I change up a lot of different things on the island as I'm going through it. But for right now, I just decided to keep those how they were and just go ahead and take up all of the decorations and the flowers over at my house, in the neighborhood, and over at the campsite. Now it is time for the terraforming. I'm just going to go to all of the places that I'm getting rid of, close up all of the water areas, and get rid of all of the cliffs. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for new terraforming. I haven't really gotten that far just yet, but I do know that what I have currently just wasn't working for me, so we're going to have to do something new. I'm also going to have to do quite a bit of time traveling in this video because I have to get rid of inclines and that whole shebang. So there's going to be a bunch of time traveling, but thank goodness for the editing gods that I'm able to speed this up and cut things out so the video is a little bit more interesting to watch. The saddest part of taking apart this island was having to destroy my zodiac pond. I really did love this idea and this build, but it was just too big. And like I've said before, a lot of the terraforming just didn't work for me because it really closed off a lot of my resident services area. And I didn't like seeing the cliffs like that because it was literally right up against the side if you saw my island tour video of this island. So it just didn't really work and it kind of got old after a while. And my zodiac pond was super cute, but it was also super big and it took up a huge space and it made it really difficult to try and get around from my campsite to go back to my orchard and to get over to Red's area. So it had to go, but it was so sad because I really did love this. I think it was a beautiful build. It was just a little bit too big and in too much of an awkward area. Maybe if I decide to do another one, I can do a smaller one or put it in a place where it wouldn't be right out in the middle of something. We'll have to see what I can come up with to maybe make this work again because I really did love it. It was super cute. Another thing that I would like to point out is that I did have a dream address for this island, but since I am totally redoing it, I decided to just go ahead and delete the dream address. So unfortunately, nobody is going to be able to visit and see how it was before. I just thought that since I was going to do a whole brand new island, essentially, not necessarily brand new, but revamped, remodeled, I just thought that keeping the old dream address up in case anybody wanted to visit just wasn't really necessary. So that dream address is gone, it's deleted. Hopefully I can get this new island finished quick enough and get a brand new one up so that way people can tour that one and see what the brand new island looks like. Now that I'm finally finished, I'm going to go around the island and show you how pretty much empty that it looks now that everything is torn down, all of the buildings are moved. First, I'm going to show you my map here and just let you kind of see how it looks and the 4 little areas that I kept, which is the entrance, the campsite, my neighborhood, and the area to Red's. And it's also really fitting because Red is shockingly here today. So we kind of get to see what that looks like when he is there. But as you can see, everything else is pretty much empty. There's nothing there. There are a couple flowers and a few money trees that I left out that I'll tend to later, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a little walkthrough and show you what it looks like. Starting from my entrance, we're going to go out and right there is my resident services. As you can see, over to the left here is the area where my Abels used to be. Clearly it is gone. It's so empty. It's so crazy to see my island this way. And as you go further back, you'll see that this is the start of my neighborhood. I really want to do something different and creative here. Hopefully I can come up with something to make it just look a little bit better instead of feel so, I don't know, blocky. It kind of felt very blocky. I don't know if that's like a term to use for how it felt, but in my opinion that's kind of what it felt like. So I really want to redecorate this area and just make it feel like it flows a whole lot nicer than what it did before. So hopefully that can happen. We'll see what kind of magic that I can make. Going up to the top here, you'll see that I have all of my houses really in a 3-row kind of situation with my house on the top left. And you come down and you go back this way towards the back of my resident services. This is where my museum used to be. Clearly it is all flat now. I'm really excited to try and do something different. I just hope that the terraforming issue won't be a problem. Terraforming always seems to make me nervous for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but for whatever reason it does. Over here to the right is my campsite. I did say that I was going to keep this campsite here, and I think that I am going to keep it, but I may or may not change up some of the terraforming here. I might have to make it a little larger to kind of match whatever I may do in the future with this area. Not exactly sure yet, but I will have to do something different. It might be a little too small. This spot right here is where my zodiac pond used to be, and this is where my orchard used to be. I did keep my money trees, and I also did keep these pink flowers here. I'm hoping that they will kind of grow some more because I would like to use them in my new build, even though it is primarily white. And the last spot that I did keep is my little reds area. I really enjoy the bridge that goes over here, and with the red being there, it makes it even more cute just to go across and see that. So out of everything that I've done, I'm really excited to work on this island. I am balancing 3 different islands all at once. I'm working on Moonshine Island, I'm working on Bubble Tea Island, and I'm also working on my new island, which is South Bay. I did make sagewood, but I decided to go ahead and get rid of that because I really wanted to do a nautical theme island. Between all of these islands, I am really excited to work on all 3 of them because I feel like it gives me a chance to have different themes, have different things to work with, and I'm just overall really excited about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching me pretty much demolish Moonshine Island. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. Make sure to comment. It would honestly make my day. And until next time, bye friends!